Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chicago 811. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys doing pretty good. We got another video for you folks. Check out this other video. We're located in coax. Cable TV. What a pain in the ass it is, folks. Why is this ped way out here? It's not even on the print. Anytime I locate cable TV, I look and see what's going on compared to what the print shows. The print shows one fiber, shows this amp, and it shows the splice right here. So they'll show 3 cables in here. So the best method of what I'm doing, we'll take 2 of these. 2 of these might be in this 1.5 duct, but that doesn't mean it doesn't split off. Over here, it splits off somewhere. Just because it's in an 1.5 duct here, who knows what they did out there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to direct connect right here and see if I get 3 different tones, good tones. Hoo-yah! Now when I do my sweep, I like to be like at least 30 feet away from that ped, maybe 40 feet. So I'm not getting no interference way out here. Because if I was closer to the ped, I would be picking up more interference than other cables, and I would have a great chance of bleeding off onto a different utility than the utility I'm trying to mark. So about 30 feet. If you could, sometimes you can't. And you notice my gain, I'm only at 52%. I'm not blasting it up high because I want to see my first sweep, what I get. And when I'm sweeping, you can see how my back end is directly in line with that amp there. And that's how I complete my radius, making sure this back end here is always pointing towards an amp. So that's why I make my turn. You can see it's still pointing at the amp. And boom, I got 1 tone here. 40. Truck went by. 45, 46 milliamps. That's really good for 1 line. Now I need 2 more. As I complete my sweep, I'm still maintaining my 30 feet, 40 feet away from that amp. I'm not getting closer. A lot of people get closer. Now coming back the other way. And I completed my 360. And you can see my machine was always pointing that way around that equipment that I'm hooked onto. You want to make sure when you're located, your receiver is aligned with that all the time. You know, you don't want to be cockeyed going like this or like this. You want to be parallel with that all the way around, like going around the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like around in circles. But I did get a tone over here, so I did get a tone right here. Let's see what happens. So you see, it moved right here a little bit. 1 foot. That's pretty good. No response, not that great. See over there where my And my no response is really good here. You see, the no is really good where my peak is. That's a really good no response. So at this point here, I'm going to mark out this one cable that goes that way. And then the other two cables. Good practice, folks. Don't force the tone. You got to bring it back. You got to look at the print and see where the other two lines go. Go from the other end and bring it back. So since I got one tone, that's my only tone. I don't know what cable that is. I'm going to walk it out and mark it. But these other two cables, I have to go to the other end and bring it back to make sure I get all three cables marked accurately. So I'm going to peek this one out and then roll it back really quick. And you can see I got really good milliamps on this. Almost hit that sign. And every time I go like 50 foot away, I want to verify it. 60. Man, God, another one. I want to verify it. 62 milliamps, good reading, still at 2 feet. And my no response is really good. So about every 50 feet, you should verify it, make sure that's your line, that you have not bled off onto a different utility. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See, folks, this one turned. This one's going right here to this thing here. You see that? So since I know this cable is going here, I have an orange conduit in there. I'm gonna open this up to see if there's two cables in there. If there's two cables in there, I killed two birds with one stone. Then both cables accounted for is going into this building, and then I'm missing one. But you see how I lost it? So let me show you something. Every time you lose a tone like that, when you're locating, and then you lose your tone, a lot of people would just go up with it and say, oh, I got a tone here. And then they'll start marking this shitty tone here because they bumped up their gain. So I'm right here, I'm at 40%. Now I'm gonna lose it one more time. I lost my tone. I'm not bumping this, because when you bump this up, folks, you're bleeding off onto AT&T. So when you lose a tone like this, you don't get nothing, you need to do another 360. So I'm gonna do the same thing, walk around, I'm gonna complete, and I'll be like, well, okay, I got a tone here, 68 milliamps, 2 feet, but I gotta finish my sweep to make sure it doesn't go on the angle. So I can conduct my sweep until I hit my last good tone. So I hit my last good tone here. I know this is the cable, and that's the only tone I got, is this one here, so I'm going to mark it out. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying. If you guys don't, please feel free to leave a comment below. So I'm nulling back to verify the null to make sure my cable, this is my cable, and the null is really good here. So you always pick it out first and then null it back. You're verifying your peak with null. That's all you're doing. You're not marking on null. You're just verifying your peak tone on null to make sure that you're on that cable, you didn't bleed off on something else. So now I'm gonna baby step this, because you want to catch the bend really good, because we're going to hit the bend if you don't mark it correctly. Now I'm gonna null it all the way back. See, I'm making sure my peak dot is exactly where it's supposed to be, so I know I didn't bleed off onto a different utility. I'm on my cable. Now, for example, if your peak's here and your nose here, you want to put a line in between your peak and your nose, because if the cable's here, you're covered. If the cable's here, you're covered within the 18 inches in Illinois. But my peak's here, my nose here, and my line's right in between, so I'm covered. Because you don't want to overmark. You don't want to put 2 lines there when there's only one. You don't want to put 2 lines there when there's only one cable. That's how you get a contract that's pissed off, and the next time you do a locate for him, he won't trust your marks. So don't overmark, folks. Make sure you mark the cable exactly. Print shows 1, put 1 down. All right, I drove all the way down here to get this cable. It's supposed to go that way per print. And you can see, oh my God, almost fell again. We have 3 orange ducts, and there's only 1 conduit in there. That's it, only 1 conduit that I can see in there. So that's what I'm talking about, folks. Just because you see 2 cables and 1 inner duct, that doesn't mean that that cable's in that inner duct all the way through to the next point. Termination ped, that are to the next ped. That doesn't mean nothing if you see it in 1 duct. You got to verify it to make sure both cables are in that duct going that direction. And in this case here, from that amp, we have 3 cables, 1 going west, 1 going east, and 1 feeding that building way over there. So that's where a lot of locators make mistakes by assuming. They're assuming that, okay, both cables are in the duct, inner duct, or a 4-inch pipe. They all must be in the same pipe all the way to the next point, and that's where they get damages. That's where damages happen, because they assume. In our line of work, we cannot assume anything. We have to make sure we're 100% on all the utilities we mark, because these utilities are costly and dangerous if you mismark, you know, a power line or something like that. It could be a costly mistake. These communications, it's not cheap to fix a communication line. This line here, one of these lines could cost $3,000 to $6,000 to fix. If they have to bore a new line in, they could cost $20,000. So make sure when you're looking at it, look at the print, see what the print set shows, and then bring everything right back to that ped. That's the best bet. I don't like clamping. A lot of guys clamp. Clamping, you bleed off onto other utilities, and then you're mismarking utilities. And you might be not marking all everything coming out of this ped. Like this one here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 lines in this ped. So I'm gonna look at the print, and I'm gonna bring everything back to this ped, every location. So there'll be 5 spots I have to stop to bring everything back to this ped, and then I know this ped is 100% marked accurately. And I can walk away and don't have to think about it. If they hit a Comcast line, I'll say, hey, I brought everything back. I didn't miss 1 line. Everything's marked accurately. They must have hit the dead one. So folks, remember that. So let's go hook up here. Hopefully I don't get too much resistance with all this cable in there. And let's locate going way back there. I don't know what happened. I lost footage. But I'm hooked up way back there. And what's good, I do my 360, which I did already, half moon. And I got a tone here. And a good null response. And like I said, I'm gonna complete it all the way to the road. No other tone. You can see where I bled off onto the gas, picked up the gas a little bit. People would bump it up, I wouldn't. That's gas. Get my first tone. It's not the greatest, but I'm gonna walk it back. But since this ain't the greatest, I'm gonna back check myself. It walked me into this ped here. I'm gonna see if I pick up that other cable. If I pick up that other cable, I know I'm 100% on it. All right, there you go. I pick up this cable. So I know I'm on my cable coming back to this ped. The peak is not the greatest, but look how far I am. The peak's not the greatest, but the nose here, everything's telling me this is my line. So I got it marked out to that ped. I back checked myself. I sweeped to see if I could get that cable out there that I already previous marked. I got a tone on it, so I know I'm 100% on my cable. All right, folks, please like, subscribe, and have a great day. Be safe out there. 2024 dig season. Peace out. All right, folks, that's it for the video. Sometimes locating is not that easy. As you can see in this video here, I had to go back and forth to 2 different hookup spots to bring everything back. But at least I know I'm 100% marked out accurately. There's no questions whatsoever that I mismarked anything out here.